Hi, cat. Come and get some mango, baby.
One, two, 1, 2, 3. Self-awareness is a superpower. My name is Kathy LaDonna. Welcome to Soul and Vibration. I hope the free thinkers are doing well. And if you're not doing well, I'm happy to remind you that you are the most powerful person that you know. You are the most powerful person that you know because only you can create your reality. Hey guys, today is Saturday, July 13th, and the energies in the day adds up and reduce to number 1 vibration. If today is your birthday, happy birthday. So today is Saturday, and Saturday is ruled by Saturn, and Saturn energy is in the sign of Pisces. Saturn is in retrograde, and the energies in the day adds up and reduce to number 1 vibration, and that energy is connected to the sun. So when it comes to today's energy, there's big emphasis on who we are, how we want to be seen in the world, and the imbalances or a lack of structure in our lives that's keeping us away from whoever it is that we say we want to be, or our ideal version of ourselves. And I say that because today is the 13th, and the number 13, 1 plus 3 brings me to the number 4. The number 4 deals with structure, deals with foundation. So when I think of the number 13, the day being the 13th, and the energies in the day adds up and reduce to number 1 vibration, it's a matter of how can I. So when it comes to this energy, I think of someone thinking of how can I enjoy the things that I enjoy, but still maintain a certain kind of image, or still maintain so an example comes to mind when I see the 13th and the energies in the day adds up and reduce to number 1 vibration, and then Saturn influenced in the overall day. This would be where someone comes to the realization that, okay, I can't keep staying up late at night and achieve this goal that I'm trying to achieve for myself. Or I can't keep participating in this thing or that thing and achieve this thing that I want to achieve for myself. Like for me, it's clicked for me that discipline is necessary in order for me to be the ideal version of myself that I envision, that I see myself as in my mind. So because of that, I'll come off a bit like, anal, I guess, about, the different lifestyle choices that I'll take, like say junk food or getting to bed on time and things like that. And for other people, they might be just live a little. It's not that serious. And for me, I guess for me, I consider myself to be one of Saturn's children. Because Saturn conjuncts my sun and my Mercury. And for that, like, I feel like I have that. It's just naturally within me to think that way. And it's clear to me, like, with Saturn energy, it helps me to be like, it helps me to break down layers and be honest and realistic with myself about my expectations of myself and what would be expected of me in order to achieve those things that I expect for myself. And, discipline, it comes down to discipline. So when it comes to today's energies, there's this thing about, there's this new beginning or this new perspective or this new idea. And a perspective is powerful because just from gaining a new perspective, that can, like a domino effect, transform your life on a whole. So when it comes to today's energy, with Saturn energy in retrograde and Pisces, you're able to see something clearly that you've been seeing through rose-colored glasses for a long time. And you come to a new idea, or there's a new beginning based on this new perspective, because you have better vision. And when it comes to this new perspective that comes from having better vision, there's big focus on, okay, it's like, it'll feel like, how can I have my cake and eat it too, that kind of vibe. So it's like, I think of the person that might say, okay, I want to be healthy because I have a certain image for myself that I want to achieve. So it's like, I want to be healthy, but how can I have sweets and be healthy. And with the energies, the day being the 13th, I think of the number 3 energy needing variety. It's an energy that's spontaneous. It's an energy that's childlike, playful. But then the number 1 is the I am, a lot of ideas. And 1 plus 3 is 4. When I think of 1 plus 3 being 4 and how the number 4 is created from the number 1 and 3, I think of a person that needs to color within the lines. It's like, I want to color how I want to color. So it's like a person born on the 13th. It's like, I want to color how I want to color, but I want to color between the lines because I'm afraid of what will happen if I spill out over the line. So this is where a person, kind of box themselves into a certain extent, but at the same time, like, box themselves in with enough favors. Like, I think when I say favors, I mean like party favors, with enough things that will allow them to have a good time. So it's like, I think of the person that might be on a diet, and it's like the diet might say within this window you can eat whatever you want, or you have a cheat date, but you have to follow these rules. It's like, there's something about that when it comes to today's energies. It's like, how can I get what I want, but at the same time not give up everything? That kind of vibe. That's the energy with today. How can I get what I want without not giving up everything? And for me, it comes back to like discipline. Like, how bad do you want what you want? It's like, I think of like the person that'll say like, I have a cheat day, and I get the whole cheat day thing, and it makes sense. But then I also think of like this one doctor that will say like, when it comes to like having a cheat day, it's like, if something's not good for you, it's just not good for you. So it's like, having your cheat day is like getting killed with like a tiny knife opposed to like a big one. So it's like something is taking you down, but it's just a matter of time. And I get some people like, we're all leaving here the same way anyway. So, that might not matter to someone, for someone else who have a certain image of themselves, certain goals that require for them to have a healthy vessel, that might be a no-go. So with them hearing that, they might choose themselves over the cheat days because their goals and their vision for themselves is too bigger than the cheat dates. So when it comes to today's energy just feels like there's big emphasis and focus on that. Like, there's a new beginning, but it's like, I want structure, but at the same time, I want fun. And we have the spider coming up as a spirit animal. And the spider always brings me to 2 things. The spider always brings me to being strategic. It's like, I think of, make sure your next move is your best move. That's one thing that always comes to mind when I see the spider. And then the other thing that always comes to mind when I think of the spider energy is deception. Deception, whether you're deceiving yourself because you're choosing to see something with potential, or through your imagination, rose-colored glasses energy, or someone else is coming in and deceiving you. Where it's like, for me, it's like clockwork. Say someone is entering into my world and this person can't be trusted, a spider will just pop up in my space. And I promise you, it always works like that. Or there was a time when I was getting work done and they were working on the AC units and they came in to clean it. And then they started selling me fear. But I thought it was interesting that before I got the work done, I went to YouTube and I looked at duct cleaning to see if if it's necessary to get the AC ducts cleaned, and the benefits of getting the AC ducts clean. And I remember coming across a video that was like a short video, but it was from the news people saying how these people will come into your house to clean the AC ducts, and then before you know it, they done put so much fear into you because it's their job to upsell you. So it was wild that while I was thinking about getting a job done, came across a video like that on YouTube. And then when the guys came in, one of them was like, word for word, sound just like the video. And I found myself buying into the fear and the concerns, because for me, like, it's important to make sure I take care of myself and my environment so that my environment will take care of me. And as a dude is talking and I find myself feeling fearful, it's like, but the video on YouTube said the same exact thing that he's saying. And it's not a coincidence that, like, I saw the video and now he's here saying this. And I looked over just looked over to just look over to the window, and there's a big spider on the window, walking around on the windowsill, and then it ducked off into the cut. And I'm like, okay. So with this energy here, always two things, when it comes to say your new beginning, what you're planning and what you're doing, make sure your next move is your best move. And then the next thing too with the spider energy for me always is make sure that you're not being deceived or deceiving yourself. And I feel like other people cannot manipulate us or deceive us without our permission. And I say without our permission because someone deceiving you is trying to sell you a story. And you will only believe into the story if for whatever reason it benefits you to believe into that story, because you have intuition, and we all have intuition, and with your ability to discern, you can sense when something isn't right. You can sense when someone's telling you a story. But when your emotions are too high, and when your emotions are too high, or there's an emotionally backed demand to have a certain experience, then you're going to see what you want to see and fall into the delusion. So when it comes to say the spider energy coming out, it brings me to when it comes to today's energy, being present. Bring present when it comes to your interactions today. And also too, making sure your next move is your best move. Being present when it comes to your interactions, making sure your next move is your best move. And we have the Four of Wands in the reversal position. So with the Four of Wands in the reversal position, the number 4 brings me to security and stability. Wands deals with motivation. Four of Wands in a reversal position brings me to say someone feeling a little bit bummed out or burned out, not having the motivation to secure their foundation, maybe where the home is concerned. Maybe something about the home or the living environment is overwhelming. Or maybe there's something about your structure, your living situation. And when it comes to say the date also being the 13th, 1 + 4 deals with security, stability. So wherever your foundation is weak, best believe you're going to be mad irritated today when it comes to that thing. That thing is going to be so annoying, like just annoying. And when it comes to say that annoying thing that you might be dealing with today, or the thing that stands out to you more than anything else to get your attention, it's just a matter of taking some time to address that thing by, patiently and be curious to understand where the frustration is coming from. Because if you're patient and try to understand where your frustration or discomfort is coming from, and it's more than likely a thought process or a belief that needs to be addressed. And, once taking your time to address this thought process or belief, from addressing it on the inside, then you can address it within your day-to-day life. So with the moon in Libra, the moon is still in Libra, and the moon is squaring the sun in Cancer. So with the sun and the moon making a square, I think of how, say the moon is in a space where it's like you want to be social and connect with others, or even invite people in the house, and the sun in Cancer is like, don't invite nobody in the damn house. It's like that kind of vibe. It's like there's a split between a part that wants to be reserved and hidden, and then there's another side that wants to be social. Or when I think of the moon in Libra squaring the sun in Cancer, I kept mentioning the home, or something around the home, or maybe with the mother, the family, or even the emotions. With the moon in Libra, I think squaring the sun in Cancer, I think of someone trying to avoid offending or hurt anyone else's feelings, and instead hurting their own. I think of say the person, say you live somewhere and there's something about your living situation that you're displeased about, but you don't want to be a problem. You don't want to be a problem. You don't want to be the bad guy. And I remember I used to struggle with that. I don't want to be the problem. I don't want to be the bad guy. But then I came to the realization of why me speaking up for myself and my needs making me a bad guy? Why is it okay for someone else to get over on me, but I'm the bad guy for speaking up? And I realized that, based on how I may have perceived my environment growing up, I took on that conditioning, and now it's time to unlearn that. You know, me, you know, if someone is not pleased with me for voicing my concerns or my complaints, that's their problem. You know, address the issue so that I don't have to say nothing to you. It's just that simple. And, you know, that's something to consider in today's energy. But then I also understand and then it brings me back to the spider energy, where it's like, I think of like someone being gaslit in their situation, because like I said, with spider energy showing up for me, it's always one or two situations. And when these energies come out like this, it could bring me to someone being gaslit in their situation. With the moon in Libra, like I don't really want any problems with the moon in Libra positively aspecting Leo. Like I used to always say to myself, like, why this person got to make us have a problem? Where it's like, if they don't do that, like, it's like, I can't help but to speak up for myself, even though I don't like, you know, people would think growing up that I like confrontation, when I truly don't like confrontation, but I don't know how to just allow someone to just like take advantage of me. So it's like, I'm gonna say something and I'm gonna make stuff real uncomfortable, but I don't want it to be uncomfortable, but I can't help but making it uncomfortable. And it's like with this energy here, like I could see someone like not wanting to create a vibe, not wanting to make things uncomfortable. But as I mature, I realize that some people bank on the fact that most people will avoid confrontation and avoid making things uncomfortable. And one thing with me, like if I'm spending my money, like give me what I want or give me what you promised me. You know what I mean? And I feel like what other way should it be? So when it comes to today's energy, you know, there's some things around security and stability when it comes to ourselves, when it comes to what makes us feel secure. And with Saturn and Pisces and retrograde, this is where, you know, some of us might see how we relate to people in ways that weren't always fair for ourselves. So this is where the person will feel sorry for the person that's treating them effed up. And it's wild that that would even be a thing, but trust me, like I could definitely see that being a thing. So it's like this person's taking advantage, but you feel sorry for like confronting them and calling them out. And like I said, for me, like I don't like confrontation and I don't like bad vibes, but I can't help but speaking up for myself. And I remember going through situations where it's like I would confront the situation, but then gaslit and be made to feel like I'm the problem because I just called out some BS. And, you know, with reasoning and reflection over time, I learned that that's just a form of manipulation. But for years it would get me because I couldn't help but calling ish out. But at the same time, I would feel bad after. Like I would call it out because I can't help but calling it out. But then I would feel bad after. And over time, like, if a person even wants to try that now, it's like, it will just be hilarious to me. Like, give me what you owe me, or do your damn job, or do what you're supposed to do. Like, clearly there's some kind of an agreement here. I have a role, you have a role. Keep up your end of the role so we don't have to have problems. And that's what I used to hate. It's like, why this person got to make us have problems? It's like, say, you know, somebody loans somebody some money and they know that they're supposed to give you back your money today at 4. And a day has passed and you haven't heard from them. And it's like, why they got to make me call them to remind them to give me what's owed to me. And that's what I mean. It's like, why you got to make us have problems? Because if you did what you're supposed to do, we wouldn't have problems. And even if you don't have the money, you know, if that's the situation, like at least call ahead of time and say, hey, I know I said I would be able to, you know, do X, Y, Z, A, B, C, but this is what's happening right now. Like communicate, you know, communicate. And maybe somebody needed to hear that. Or it's like some people might feel like avoiding a situation completely until they're able to address it is the right way to do it. And in some cases, depending on the person's situation, that might be the thing to do. But for me, it's best to just communicate. Like you're supposed to, you know, be at an appointment for 3 o'clock and at 2:15 you realize that you're going to be late. Give the person a heads up and show them that, like, hey, I'm behind and my GPS says that I'm going to be getting there for 3:30 and not 3 o'clock. Like that actually goes a long way. You know, you owe somebody something and you're supposed to give it back to them Friday, and on Wednesday you realize that you're not going to have it Friday, let them know ahead of time than to let Friday come and then you ignoring them or you playing it. Like the worst thing for me was somebody playing stupid, because now you're going to make us have problems. And why you got to make us have problems? It's like somebody making the energy bad where it doesn't have to be if people would just communicate. And I feel like when it comes to today's energy, it's like you're able to see things a lot more clear than you may have before. Able to see things a lot more clearer than you may have before. And when it comes to, say, security and stability, to me, ain't no security and stability like feeling secure and stable within. Ain't no security and stability like feeling secure and stable within. Like I was thinking to myself today, like what is the definition of abundance? And when I reflect in the feeling of abundance, for me, abundance is energetic satiation. Is like being satiated. It's like feeling energetically satisfied. Like that's what abundance feel like to me. Energetically satisfied in the sense that, like, you know, everything just feels great, but you don't need anything. You don't need for anything. You don't want for anything. And no amounts of money in the world can bring that feeling. So it's like true abundance is like happiness. It's like a choice. It's a state of mind. But for me, it's like energetic satiation. It's like being satiated energetically. And, you know, no one can give you that. Only you can give you that. So I feel like when it comes to today's energy is helping in some way for us to see things clear, come up with a new perspective to create more security and stability on the inside. You guys, it's always such a pleasure sharing these messages with you. Hey guys, I want to share with you 7 benefits of getting a numerology natal chart awareness coaching session. The first one is understanding your internal programming. The second one is becoming more clear about your purpose and passion. The third is setting goals for success. The fourth is awareness of strength and areas of improvement. And the fourth one was foundational for me, because whenever you're aware of your weaknesses, no one can use them against you. And when you're aware of your strengths, that makes you unstoppable. And that is why I say self-awareness is a superpower. The fifth benefit is removing obstacles. We first have to become aware of a thing in order to remove it in the first place. The sixth benefit is understanding relationship dynamics. We don't have to change the people in our lives. We have to become aware of ourselves and start from there, and everything changes. And the seventh benefit is upcoming transits, if that's something that you would like to look into because you're planning for something or you just want to be aware. So if you're interested in booking a numerology natal chart awareness coaching session or learning more about it, the link to book or the link to send me an email for questions are both within the description box below. If you'd like to check out my Patreon where I share exclusive content, the link to check out what's happening on Patreon is in the description box below. Please let me know you're here with me by dropping me a red heart in the comment box below. I would love to hear from you and look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Love yourself as if your life depended on it, because it does. Take care of yourself, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.